Who is my audience? To describe my audience, they are people ranging from the ages of 12 to mid-20s, both male and female. In terms of demographic, they all fall under the category Group E, which are people who are unemployed, students, pensioners and casual workers. In terms of psychographic, my audience fall under 3 categories, the first being the reformer, which is a person who seeks enlightenment and freedom. As in our film, our protagonist is trying to break free from the hardships she has at home. The second is the explorer, which is a person who seeks discovery, energy and individualism. So in our film, our protagonist is somehow on a journey, trying to find a place to live and so on. The third is resigned, which is a person who seeks survival. So in our film, our protagonist is trying to get away from the dysfunction of her family, and all these factors is what makes up my audience profile. This response in particular was very helpful to me. The answer to the first question, the client has written, I commonly see an emotive story, a sad ending, and often children are used. And the second, they wrote, I like the fact that dramas can often be very relatable to real life situations. I really like this response in particular. It's really helpful because these are the factors that we were trying to do in our film, and also the idea that most of our audience already knew what was incorporated into a drama made it much easier for myself and Hannah to create our film, because we did want to create a story, an emotive story, a sad ending, and trying relating it to real life situations, which I believe we successfully did. We had the third question was based on some scenarios, and most people liked the idea of a child starring in a drama film. Some liked the idea of having a dramatic twist. Not overall, many people prefer to have a child play in our film rather than an adult, as they thought this would evoke more of a reaction. Here in the second response that I've received is quite similar to the first. They've also mentioned key elements or themes that can be found in dramas such as domestic violence, insomnia, divorce, separation, emotional pain. They've also touched on the idea of realistic issues or real life problems that happen to people in real life that they see in dramas. So it's always reflected back on people, which we took into consideration when creating our film. Also, they've also said that using a child will provoke emotions and reactions from the audience, will make the audience think and react emotionally. This is very helpful because I too believe using a child provoked more of an emotion than using an adult. When we were creating our film, I felt that a child was better to use, especially when our audience range from 12 to mid-20s. Hence, this audience feedback was very helpful. Myself and Hannah created an animation. We first started off creating a storyboard on Storyboard That, a website that creates storyboards. Then we imported it to Final Cut Pro. We added sound and created an animation, a still life animation. do you think, like, because you didn't know that she had cancer, what do you think we should we film some scenes with, you know, some medical documents in front of her, or something
Going to the doctors or
okay,
hospital,
something to show that she's basically got cancer.
Yeah.
What kind of genre did you think it was?
It's a drama, I think.
What did you think of the sound that was what you were listening to?
I think it.
What did you find interesting about it?
What I found interesting about the story was the flashback that she had while she was in the park of her life before. And
do you think it was effective? Like, did you understand it from point A to point B, or did you find it a bit confusing with the flashbacks?
a bit confusing with the flashbacks.
Okay, how do you think we could fix that?
Perhaps instead of having flashbacks, you could just leave it as from the beginning to the end instead of having flashbacks.
What kind of genre did you think it was?
I would say a drama. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What did you think of the sound when you were listening to it? Did you did you find it a bit emotive at some points, or did you not?
No, I didn't.
Okay, how do you think we should improve that?
Because you guys had different sounds in some parts, I think you should just leave it as one simple,
like one sort of thing that's playing throughout.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, say, if the girl that has cancer, if she had a song that just for her, would you think that would be better?
Yeah.
So you could probably recognise that, okay, that's the girl and she's got cancer.
That's true, yeah.
And you know the costumes, what the girl's gonna wear. Basically, one of them's the cancer girl. She's gonna wear quite like rugged clothes, quite dark clothes.
Yeah.
Do you think that's effective? And why do you think we did that?
Because you guys wanted to reflect the negativeness on her life.
Yeah. And what about the other girl? Why did we put bright clothes?
Because she hasn't got the illness and hers is better. Her life is better until the end.
And what kind of audience do you think would be interested in it? Like, if you give me an age group.
From teens to adults.
And what did you find interesting about it?
I really liked the flashbacks and the fact that she kind of met all these people on the playground, right?
What did you dislike about it? Or anything like you'd get rid of? Or didn't understand?
Any improvements?
I'd say add a bit more detail about her illness, just to make it clear to the audience what she's actually suffering from. Because I know she coughed blood, but some may not catch on to what it actually is.
Listening to the feedback from our audience of our animation, there were some intriguing and interesting things to take from it. Overall, everyone guessed that it was a drama that we were making, and potentially everyone said that the audience was teens to adults, which was partially right, but we aimed it at as 12 to mid-20s, so not far off. Everyone pretty much understood the story. Some liked the flashback. One person said they'd rather have it as one long take. Myself and Hannah thought a flashback would be better because having one long story can often bore the audience and lose their attention, whereas flashbacks can add a bit of creativity and make the film more interesting to watch rather than one long sequence. In terms of sound, they didn't find it as emotive, partially because there were too many sounds in my animation that they couldn't really focus as much. Hence, when I do make my film, I will try and think about incorporating a few sounds and maybe having a sound that is assigned to the girl that has cancer to give it more depth and meaning. Other things that were taken into consideration was the cancer. One person said that they wanted more detail on the cancer to just show something that she has cancer or of some sort. So I was thinking of having in my film to have. At the time, I was thinking to have some sort of medicine or something where the protagonist is taking out medicine as well as coughing blood, just to give more feeling that she is really ill. I didn't want to give away what she has, or as I wanted it to be left to the audience to accumulate what's actually happening, to leave it to their own imagination. Overall, everyone said that they found it interesting, they would recommend it to other people, and found it quite clear, which I'm very happy with. My audience had given me feedback on my poster. This was the first draft of my poster, so it's very different to the current poster that I have. To briefly explain this poster, the picture of the girl is my protagonist. It's a close-up shot to show the medical tube and her tears, to give the audience a brief idea of what the storyline will be. The poster will be split into 3 sections, that's sort of like a film strip to show 3 different parts of her life. The font will be quite scattered and quite broken, quite like shattered glass, to emphasize herself as being quite lost, secluded and alone. I received positive feedback and some improvements to make my poster better. Positive feedback includes that the images were very good, it screams to the audience to look at it, and the idea of having 3 different pictures or scenes is effective to present ideas to the audience. Some people have said that they would watch it based on the poster. They've said that by looking at this poster, they want to know why she is in this medical tube, what's her illness, what's her problem. To improve, people have said that a release date should be put on it. Also maybe to have like a quote from a newspaper, or try and include where it's going to be shown, or some sort of slogan. What I've learnt from this audience feedback is that there are a few things that I've missed out, such as not having like a release date or of some sort. It was quite intriguing that what my audience was saying about my film, trying to connote what is actually happening, and the fact that they understood that something was wrong with the main protagonist and she was quite ill because of the medical tube. It made sure that I hit the right criteria in terms of trying to show the best out of my film through my poster.